remember standing in cash control down at the Magic Kingdom, probably 2012, when they first announced as a company that we were going to build Pandora. And I remember that'd be a really cool place to work. I should apply for that.
I started at Kilimanjaro Safaris. That was my only area at the time.
I had been a cast member with Main Street Operations, leader with the entertainment team at the Magic Kingdom.
I was a coordinator in Dinoland, so DAC was my home. And I had been on the Test and Adjust team for Flight of Passage.
I was probably one of the only ones that was like a hardcore Avatar fan.
So I went to an info session where I actually ran into Jay, and we just kind of toured the room. And after I'd gotten all my questions out, Jeff comes in the room, and I'd never met Jeff before. And he just walks right up to me and he said, "All right, what do you want to know?" And I'm just panicking at this point because I had just asked Jay all of my questions. I didn't have anything on the top of my head, so I just re-asked Jeff what I had already asked Jay, and we just had the same conversation over again. So that was my first meeting with Jeff.
I don't remember that much from my interview. It was so stressful. I think I blocked most of it out.
I remember being very nervous. I'm not a good interviewer to begin with.
I had come straight from work that morning. So for Test and Adjust, LACEY and I worked the 5 a.m. shift, and I had been covered in dirt from being in the job site. I had a hard hat hair situation.
I am a very nervous person and I hate interviews, so I didn't want to do it.
I know Corey's was the first interview that we did.
I had my interview, which I thought went really well.
We were all new to each other and therefore kind of nervous. And so we asked the questions, but no humor at all, and very rigid. But then we got around to Bobby.
My main thing, I want, whenever I do the interviews, I like people to be comfortable, because the typical Disney interview style is they ask a question, and I swear to God, I'm watching Blue Bloods, and they're writing confessions down in the police chamber. And I want the person that's being interviewed to be comfortable.
I remember being nervous right when I stepped in the door that I didn't prepare very well. I said, "Oh, which seat's mine?" And Bobby said, "Right there underneath the desk."
So I try to break the ice, be just regular, just say whatever.
I remember the interview itself being pretty okay and going around the room, making eye contact with everyone and getting a pretty good vibe, until I got to Michelle, who was staring at me like a stone-faced killer.
That's just my face.
Her face never changed the entire time. And I remember getting up and walking out of the room and her just sitting there with her arms crossed, staring. So that was pretty unnerving.
It was notable that Michelle was not in my interview. She was already my leader. She had asked me if I wanted her to be there. And I was like, sure, yes, no, I don't know, maybe, don't, I don't know.
Like a fool, I wore a suit jacket to this interview.
If it's above 60 degrees, he sweats. So he comes walking in like you should, very dressed up. He had a suit on. I'm like, oh boy, here we go.
I had to keep kind of like discreetly wiping all the sweat off of my forehead throughout the entire interview.
Oh yes, I want to go to Pandora. And that just lightning fast swish, whoosh, right across the head. Swish, that was fantastic. I think he thought if I went fast, no one will see my hand. Yeah, I still saw it, yeah.
And going into the interview, that was more stressful than my LCC interview. And I just got so flustered. I looked at Brian, and Brian was like, "Yeah, you got it. You're good."
I remember, I believe it was Jeff asked me, "Tell us a little bit about yourself." And the first thing out of my mouth was like, "I'm getting a dog, y'all."
Y'all, I'm getting a dog. And I was like, what?
I was really casual. I think I was leaning back in the chair, leaning across the table.
And they had said this guy, Brett, who I'd never met, was very nervous.
Somebody had made a joke, Bobby, being Bobby. He said, "As you can tell, we like to joke around here. We're a pretty lighthearted group." And I looked at him and I said, "It's fine."
Brett turned to him and said it was fine, and there's debate about the tone.
The way Bobby tells it.
And this is what he does. He turns to me and goes, "That's fine."
I didn't do that.
I don't care what he says. I saw his little video where he had his Duck Dynasty beard. I don't know what that is. It was like this, Brett.
When it got to the end, I remember Ashby asked me if I had any other questions. Like, I'm good. Like, just get me out of this room. I'm ready to go. So I was offered a TA with my position back with transportation, and I had to give her an answer.
We had a quick deliberation, and we said, well, we don't want her to accept another temporary assignment. So do we want to just grab her and bring her back in here and just make her an offer real quick right now?
Jeff literally ran after her because he didn't want her to accept another job.
And so, yeah, I went running out the door. I tried calling her on her phone, made her an offer, and sent her on her way. It was awesome.
When I got my phone call, I was actually driving back from riding ATVs at a bachelor party, and it was just me and my best friend's brother in the car, who I never met. I get a call on my car phone, and it's you all saying, "Have you packed your bags? You're going to space." And this kid's looking at me like, "What do you do for a living? Like, what is this phone call?"
But I do remember Jeff being like, "Hey, this is Jeff Lopa. Do you have luggage?" And I was like, "What?"
I wish the coordinators could see like backstage footage of us in the room. First, like coming up with the idea, and then second, like going through with it, and just every single time screwing it up.
Bobby was the one that came up with the idea of like, "Hey, we probably should say, pack your bag." And Jeff's like, yeah. I thought we had it down to a science. And it just was probably the worst after everyone.
What do I have luggage? Yeah, I have luggage. Sure, what?
It was like, that was awful. And let's just continue to see how awful we can make this with every single call.
I literally went into the forest and kneeled down in it. And I was taking the phone call. I think y'all yell "Congratulations, you're coming to Pandora." I did not hear y'all at all.
It was just a sentence. When you're going to let them know, just say, "Hey, do you have luggage?" "Yeah, why?" "Well, pack your bags, you're coming to Pandora." But it had to turn into a dramatic moment. And when 10 people yell on speakerphone, it just sounds like this.
I think I was crying most of the time in that room. And then it was just like, okay, we got it. Now it's the next one. And it was just a mess again.
I was actually backstage at Splash. I got the call with the pack your bags and everything, which I got really confused about.
All right, guys, just say it really slow.
Like, "Yeah, I do have luggage." And he's like, "Oh, well, do you have your bags packed?" And I was like, "Well, actually, yeah, I do have my bags packed. I'm on my way to New Orleans right now." And so the call didn't quite go the way that he wanted it to go.
One person, take turns. "Well, pack your bags, you're coming to Pandora." Well, there you go. That's all you had to do. But no. "Well, do you have luggage? Is it insured? What is your favorite airline?" Oh my God.
Even at that 10th call, we would all yell, "Pack your bags." And then there would be 5 seconds of silence and, "Wait, what did you say?" on the phone. And none of us knew how to respond to it.
And I heard everyone ask about the luggage thing. I thought that was weird, definitely. And then everyone screamed, and I was very confused.
Every time we hung up the phone, Bobby's like, "Just say, pack your bags. That's it. Pack your bags, you're going to Pandora." How hard is that?
Well, I mean, that must be a good sign, right? So if everyone's screaming, I probably got it.
I actually thought the packing luggage thing was really funny. That was a pretty cool idea. I've got luggage, and yeah, I'll pack it because I'm going there. I don't know. Maybe I was the only person that responded well. I thought it was really cool.
It was so easy, but it wasn't. I regret that I thought of it.
I got so excited. I just fell to the ground and everyone was cheering. And that was a really, really cool moment.
I was super excited. I was probably more excited than I was able to even show, because I was like, this kid's going to think I'm nuts kind of thing. So I just kind of kept it inside.
It was really exciting. I think I sat down on the ground in the middle of Hollywood Studios.
It was just awesome.
I got the news on my trip to New Orleans. I was ecstatic.
I was really, really excited.
Everybody told me, and I got real excited.
And look at what happened. We had an excellent opening team.
The coordinators that we brought on board that were just phenomenal.
We didn't go for just one style. It was a great team, and they complemented each other well. And I think it turned out great.